Your face? Hey, bring it in. Let's go.
Did it tell you anything about me?
Huh?
Did it tell you anything about me?
Not yet. All right. Good practice tonight. It's nice to see some new faces. But the biggest thing that I've learned teaching wrestling practices, especially in MMA gyms, is that more times than not, the first time I see it might be the last time I see it. Especially if it's their first class, because everybody says that they wanna work on wrestling, they need to work on wrestling, stuff like that. But once they come in and see kind of what it does to your body, the way it feels, and maybe how far behind they are in a couple of different places, they don't come back because it sucks. All right, how tired were you over here after like 15 seconds? Real tired, right? A different kind of tired than if you're sparring or if you're on the mat rolling. Right, because you're wrestling. It's a continuous grind. It's a continuous pace, and it's especially different if you're going with a wrestler. Right? I mean, you felt my hands for a little bit. You feel Dylan's hand, those guys too. That's the important thing that you need to understand. Especially down here, is that I was dumbfounded the first times I was going into the MMA gyms because everybody said, "Oh, I'm fighting a wrestler." They're all worried about it, right? Where in my mind, it was like, what the hell's the worst he's going to do? Take you down and hug you? You know what I mean? It's what happens, but in the process, you don't realize how tiring it is when somebody's physically controlling your body against your will over and over and over. Right? It wears on you. It's tiring, but when you're used to that grind, your body gets used to going through it. And actually, you don't see, somebody that has strictly wrestling usually get a submission or a knockout in the first round. They get it in the second or third because that guy's so tired that he can't react anymore. In the same way, like if I'm in a grappling tournament, I'm rolling with a high-level jiu-jitsu guy, I don't even think about trying to hit a submission until I know that he's so tired that he can't think as well as he usually does because he's been hitting arm bars and defending arm bars and guillotines and everything else for 10 years. I've learned how to do them 2 months ago. Why the hell would I think that I'm going to be able to hit it on him when we're at an even playing field? Instead, I tire him out so much that he couldn't defend himself if he wants to. No, and that's, huh? Is that a camera? Yes, I'm filming you. No. So that's the thing that you need to understand is like, in you guys, some of you gotten to see it, not a lot of you, but if you see me sparring, I'm so freaking tired after 3 1-minute rounds that I'm like shaking out my arms and going against the wall because my muscle memory is not there. You guys can shadow box and spar and stuff like that all day and not get tired. You can control your breathing and everything else. Well, I'm the opposite. When I'm hand fighting, when I'm wrestling, and somebody's really trying to grind back, that's where I feel comfortable. I can go like that forever. Because even if I get tired, it's my mindset that the other guy's gonna get more tired than me. So no matter how tired I'm feeling, I know that SOB sitting in front of me is a little bit more tired than me.
I'm so frustrated that when I do get to striking, I overthrow my strikes and they shoot under me.
Because where's your nose? Where's your nose?
I mean, it's here. It's up. It's
no,
here.
In comparison to theirs. What was the thing I said tonight?
Every time, I'll get to the point where my last fight, he kept grinding, and by third round, I was just like,
So they're waiting. They're waiting. That's exactly what I do. I would try to piss you off until you started to swing at the fence, because when you're swinging at the fence, I get to drop under you. I know your actions. I can time them. I can climb underneath. It's all about automated responses. What?
How long is it gonna take for my body to loosen?
Not long. I mean, Dylan, you've been wrestling for what, like 4 months, 5 months? Strictly. So like June probably I started teaching. Till right now, and he's to the point where I would send Dylan to a college wrestling room and feel completely comfortable with him being able to go in and at least hold his own with the guys, But even like you guys the guys that I've worked with for a while now, or like even the guys at Revolution, it's not that I'm teaching them anything wonderful. I'm just teaching them the basics, the natural reactions, that if you stay inside, it's less wearing. If you keep, underneath their collarbone, it's not as energy consuming. You don't have to worry about getting thrown. It's understanding the position so that you don't panic. You get to where you know that you need to be. Like in jiu-jitsu, for me, the first things that I learned were my safety zones. If I can get here, I'm not in trouble. You learn how to defend before you learn how to have offense first. More times than not, right? So as long as you can learn how to defend things, then you understand what positions that they have to be in order to get them, and the positions you have to be in order to stop them. Once you get that, the rest of it starts coming. You know, that's once you feel comfortable on your feet and you're not worried about somebody shooting on you anymore, that's where you start to see your shots. You know, the inside position, nose or below, and keeping your collarbone even or below his are huge. That and the knee change. You know, that and the knee change. More times than not, like the guys that I see trying to get takedowns that haven't worked on their wrestling, well, the tell of whether they've actually worked on wrestling or not is their penetration step. You know, yeah, you might know how to finish a shot, you might know how to do a bars guard and stuff like that, but you're never going to get to if your penetration. We'll get to it. But you're never going to get a chance to try it if you get knocked off balance on your penetration step. But it's the same as, you know, most guys that come in to spar or work on their striking or something like that, they don't want to work on their jab. You know, they want to do combos. They want to do, you know, parry to 2 combos after that, or a duck slip then combos. You know, they don't want to just work on that jab. Same as jiu-jitsu. Nobody wants to work on pass and guard, where that's really the hardest thing to do, right? Where a penetration step and being able to stay knees bent in your stance is the biggest thing, right? Like you especially, I have a challenge for you. Sometime between now and next Wednesday, I want you to get a time clock, 7 minutes. And for 7 minutes, I want you to try to stay bent over, knees bent, without straightening your legs or coming out of it. I just want you to stay here for 7 minutes.
7 minutes.
Yeah, and then I want you to let me know how it feels.
Okay.
That's the length of a college wrestling match. Everybody watches college wrestling, especially other athletes that have played other sports. Like 7 minutes, that's nothing.
Yeah.
You try staying in a wrestling stance for 7 minutes without coming out of your stance. And then you tell me how come some of those guys can grind and have the ability to get through states of exhaustion or to get their body to do things that they wanted to even when they hit it.
Nobody respects it until they try.
No, it's exactly. The biggest thing that wrestling gives you right away is the ability to move and react when you are tired. All right, if you want to take me down, go with me the first 2 goes before I'm warmed up, especially on days where I'm going through the practice and I didn't just get done showing for an hour, so I'm not all sweaty, because that's where my reaction's not there. That's where I'm not really tired yet, and I'm all over the place. The tireder I get, the more disciplined I get, and the more, you know, stingy I get. I stay in my stance. I stay inside ties and stuff. That's where I really start wearing on people, and that's what I said earlier. Is I'm more exhausted than you could probably ever even imagine. But I've trained my body to go when it's in that state. It doesn't matter if I am or not. You know, you'll hear me say it if you're getting ready for a fight. I know you've heard me say it. The body's always capable if the mind's willing. It doesn't matter how freaking tired you are. Your body's like a video game. Your mind's just got to tell it what to do. You know, if you hit left, right, control, select, start, then it's unlimited ammo on Contra. But you might also be able to tell your body to do whatever you want it to. You know, I tell these guys all the time, if there's something that you want to do, something that you want to work on, something that you've seen, something that you've had troubles with, come to practice with it. That's what we'll work on that day. All right, I do this for you guys. I don't get anything else out of it other than you guys feeling like you're improving or getting a step up on somebody somewhere and feeling good about it.
So you here every Wednesday?
Yep.
I'm gonna be honest. All classes that I came to since I've been here, I love wrestling. Like, that's probably my favorite class.
But you only actually wrestled for like 30 seconds and you were on your belly.
I know.
They was good. I actually like.
You don't want to see it's Muay Thai.